guys, look where I am, back home. Very, very happy to be back in San Diego. And if it looks like I'm really far away today, it's because my lovely tripod is still in, we're not sure, probably flying back here, kind of. My luggage got a little bit misplaced somewhere in Portugal, but that's okay. I'm here, and my phone is here, and the lights from John Lynn of Sunrise Urology still here, so we're good. Today I wanted to come to you with a concept that is very much related to the trip I just took, and I came up with this week's theme after reading this book. I think it said I just cut out, we'll see. Anyway, I came up with this week's theme of quitting drifting after reading this book. I was just at A-Fest and I met a new friend. His name is Dominick Quartuccio. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Dominic. Anyway, as we are in the airport and I'm about to board my flight out of Sardinia, we discuss a little bit about his life story because he definitely has a quit and he'll be on the podcast, so look forward to that. But he handed me this book that he wrote and it is called Design Your Future. It's such a fun read that by two of my 4 flights later, I was done. And a concept in this book is something about drifting. And essentially what he gives a lot of terms for drifting, but the one that I like is that it's kind of meandering through life in a hypnotic rhythm. So usually I come to you with quits that have to do with things that are wrong in your life. Okay, are you having anxiety about your job, or does your relationship make you sad because this or that isn't right, or is there a mindset that's keeping you trapped? And those are all valid things, but a concept that I don't often cover that this book brought to my attention is the fact that you may want to quit something not if there's anything wrong, but if there's a lack of something that's right. If you're just going through the motions. Those of us who are old enough to have seen Office Space may understand this concept. Whether or not something was actually wrong with working at Initech or wherever, it's just the fact that the day to day, there's no excitement, nothing you're looking forward to. Maybe nothing is really giving you anxiety, insomnia, any of the symptoms that I usually talk about, but is anything lighting you up? Are you looking forward to something this weekend, or something at work, or something in a relationship, or anything? Just, are you looking forward to reading this new book or checking out some video on YouTube? If you're never looking forward to a thing, that may be just as unhealthy for you as the fact that something is wrong and needs to be quit. So if you happen to be drifting, if that describes you, if you're like, wow, you're right, like nothing's really wrong, but nothing's really gotten me fired up in a long time, then maybe it's time to examine if there's something that needs to be quit so that something more exciting could come into that space. Is your job just too easy at this point and you may want to quit it and look for another challenge? Or are you, as this is very applicable to me now, because after 3 weeks of traveling, it was rough. It was very rough. Living in the US is very, very easy. Living in San Diego is super easy. And it takes something like that to remind me that some of us get stuck in these really easy routines and we never get challenged. And, you know, there were parts where I was like, oh man, I want to go home. But at the end of the day, I feel stronger. You know, there's resilience that gets developed over times like that. But do you have something like that that breaks up your routine? Okay, I may have this easy life, but every once in a while I challenge myself to this, or maybe I go on a mission trip, or I go build houses in an underserved area, something like that keeps you from drifting. And Dominic mentioned some other ways to prevent drift or to cure drift, like making new goals and even coming up with your own eulogy and thinking like, what do I want to have accomplished in my life, or what do I want not even just to have accomplished, but how do I want to be remembered? There are lots of things in the book. The book, again, is Design Your Future, and Dominic has no idea I'm going to talk about it in this Facebook Live whatsoever, but I just really liked it, and I love the concept of drifting, so I wanted to bring it to you. I think his website is dominickq.com, Dominic with a CK. But it's something worth thinking about. If nothing so far has resonated, you're like, Lynn Marie, we love that you do these videos, but I don't really need to quit anything, nothing is wrong. That's great. But if that happens to be you, well, just make sure that something is lighting you up and that you're not just drifting. If you are, maybe set some goals. Maybe quit something that is too easy has become too comfortable, switch things up a little bit, travel for a while. All will be well by tonight. I know my luggage will arrive here, and by next week we'll have a tripod and all that back. But hey, it got me to realize, like, no, not that I was drifting. I'm trying like 1,000 new things a day with this podcast and these Facebook Lives, etc. But even that can get into a routine. So it's good to challenge yourself every once in a while. But again, this week's concept is quitting drifting. And like I said, I will put Dominick's website in the links in the comments below, and a link to the book perhaps. And if you have any questions about quitting drifting or quitting anything else, you know where to find me. All right, happy Friday, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.